Hey guys, welcome to my podcast where I get together with my awesome digital friends that I've never met in real life, as well as old friends that I haven't seen in decades. Today's episode is a very special one that combines a new friend that happens to know a special, really old friend that I found out were friends through a post on Facebook where they were communicating with each other. When I saw that, I called my new friend and said, "You know this guy?" And he said, "Hell yeah." And I said, "You have no fucking idea what this old friend of mine and I have been through. We were the original custom shop bass pigs in the late 70s, where we would lock ourselves up for hours making deals and trading high-end and strange custom instruments that nobody had ever seen before. There's so much to unpack here. So guys, get ready to hear some of the wildest bass gear acquisition stories that you have ever heard before, and how time brings together and unfolds unfinished business, as well as opening up the door to wonderful and powerful new relationships in the future that you could never have predicted until it pokes its head out at you and says, "I'm here." Let's bring together the past into the present. And let me start by introducing you to one of my dearest, oldest friends that gave me the opportunity to not only play and experience the wildest basses on earth at a very young age, and also help build my knowledge of instruments and the art of making deals and trades like no one else I have ever met in my life. My beautiful, very long time friend, Enzo. So fucking great to see you, buddy. How are you?
Thank you, Michael. I'm fine. How you guys doing? How you doing, Mike?
Man, it's been what, like 4 decades?
Over 45 years.
At least 45 years now. That's a long, long, long time.
Oh, shit, yeah. I've been here 32 years now, and I think my second or third deal I made was with Mark.
Okay, I'm going to introduce Mark now.
I thought I had a good deal, but I didn't get a good deal. I gave him a better bass. You see, I'm very, you know what I mean? I said, "Mark, would you throw in the other bass to make it equal?" He said, "No." I said, "Okay, see."
Okay, so now on the other side of the bass rink, okay, is my awesome new brother, my friend Mark Smith from Bass North. And now this guy is our one-of-a-kind, high-end bass provider, bass store and accessories from around the globe that also gives you the kind of personal one-on-one service that just doesn't freaking exist anymore, or very rarely comes into play since the old days when people put personal client service at the top of the list of priorities. Hello, my beautiful brother, Mark Smith from Bass North. Yo.
What's happening, man? I listening to you guys. It's like, holy crap, where am I going to fit in here? Thanks for having me again. I'm just happy to be here, and I can't wait to hear this. I'm going to call it crap. I can't wait to hear this crap from you guys.
But we're all linked somehow. And something that is going to be really interesting that it's going to unveil is that there is something that brought us together and completes us, the three of us, in ways that nobody could ever put those pieces together, which is all along with all these stories. So seeing that three of us could really talk up a storm, I've taken particular notes to organize and unpack the amazing stories and the legendary scenarios from our past, as well as ones that brought us together for this podcast, at this point in our lives. Why don't we start with a bit of history here? Enzo and I got together. We were tripping bass with some of the most insane deals we made, as well as how we used to approach on how we used to proceed when we would call each other with the magic phrase that went, "What do you got? Let's make a deal." We're going to discuss the basic process. Enzo used to have this fucking safari station wagon, right? And I would get a call, we'd get together, he'd fill it up with shit all the way to the top of this wagon, and then he would drive over to my house, or I'd come see him, and then we would lock ourselves up. We were both smoking cigarettes in those days. We'd smoke an entire freaking pack of fucking cigarettes, making deals, going over the bases. So let's talk about the process, brother. Tell me how this went down back then. Give us an example.
What deal are you talking about now?
So let's talk about the general process about like how this would happen. You know what I mean?
Knowing you back then, we knew a lot of other friends that we both had, really close friends. All we did was talk about bases, vintage bases, new bases. I'm more into the vintage side. You were more into the new stuff. So my whole thing was dealing with you, Michael, was I'm going to wait till Michael gets a good base and then try and get it off his hand. So what I have to do is try and work a deal with Harold, another friend of ours,
Harold
to get a
Fisher.
base that I know that Mike is going to flip when he sees it. So I'm going to try and get that base so I can have your base. That's what we had to do. And when I had your base, which I used to call you and go, Michael, you have to see this base. And you go, well, what the hell is it? I'll come over your place, take a look at it, let me know what you think, you know? I'd bring over this base that Harold picked up in I think it was 74, 73, Rudy's Music, New York City, or a secondhand shop, and it was a Spectre. I forgot the model number, but it only had one pickup, but it was heavy, but the sound was fucking heavy. And you're going, and so I know that I'm going to show you this bass, and you're going, well, what do you need for that? I'm going, well, what have you got? All you have is black bass, right? What else can you give me? And you're going, what? You out of your mind or what? And I'm going, what do you mean out of your mind? This fucking bass is worth more than the black bass. Back then, they were only worth what, Michael? 1,300, 14?
Exactly. Now they're worth like fucking $10,000, but
yeah. So you really didn't want to make that deal for days, which pissed me off. I'm losing my ways of making deals with these guys. Little did I know that Mike was not a fucking ass. He knew what he was doing. Especially when I keep on bugging him to make this deal. And there came a point where one day I made a deal and I said, look, Michael, do you want to borrow this bass? He goes, well, sure, maybe I could try it out.
Listen to that way he operates.
Yeah, and he never gave me the black bass, the Spectre bass that I wanted. Because he only told me, I'm gonna return you that bass. Give me a call tomorrow. Damn, tomorrow was a week and a half later. I couldn't get in touch with him. Krilla would answer the line. Oh, hi, Enzo. Michael's sleeping. Oh, man, I need that bass. Krilla, you're going to have to talk to Mike. She comes back in the line and goes, guess what? Michael's sick. So sick.
Oh, I was really sick. I don't get sick, but
sick.
I was really sick.
And I went, I don't care. I'm going to say, I gave him a call again. And it was the morning, the day after, and he answered the phone. Oh.
It was some kind of brown wooden Fender Jazz, I think.
Oh, wait a minute. It wasn't. It was the ring bass.
Oh, yeah, but I ended up getting that back, the ring bass. For everyone who wants to know what that is, right, the ring bass, let it be said that this was one of the original Spectres that looked like a kind of an alembic that now that you just can't find. I had one pickup, and he had got this from Harold, and this freaking bass, right, when he brings it to me, okay, somebody carved out a goat head into the top horn. And then it comes with a ring. It comes with a matching fucking ring that has the goat head on it. And he tells me, look, this bass used to belong to Al Di Meola's bass player, but you can never play this bass without the ring on.
Get the ring.
Right.
You need the ring.
You need the ring. And I'm looking at this thing, I'm saying, what the fuck? Al Di Meola's bass player, a ring, a freaking, what is this thing? You know what I mean? And, so the mystique and the magic that was there was absolutely, Mark, I'm telling you, like, just crazy shit. Did it have the goat head when Harold got it, or did Harold
No,
put the goat head
Harold
in
had
it?
the ring. Harold had the ring, from what I know, and he
Yeah.
said, "Man, that would be nice, just carved into the base." He had it carved into the base. So when I got it from Harold, I said, "Okay, Harold, we'll make the deal." He goes, "Okay, in one condition, I also have a ring that goes with that base." I said, "What ring is that?" He goes, "The ring, the picture of the goat head."
The
And
goat
I
head.
said, "Well, what am I going to do with that?" I played with it, and I have to wear that ring, and it gets stuck between your fingers.
This is completely
So I don't
psycho.
know how you felt, but you got this base from me. And then when I got it back from you, Richard got it, then I got it back. Then another guy in Toronto picked it up, and then I got it back again. Everyone used to tell me, "You know what, Enzo, you are like a machine where every base that we all had, you got from us, and when you got rid of them, you got them all back again." You honest truth.
Yeah, it's
And
absolutely
Flynn,
crazy. And I got to tell you, Mark, the other crazy thing, which kind of connects the three of us together, is the original, like the Black Spectre deal. Like I had bought a
I
brand
love that.
new black, it was gloss black NS1, one pickup, EMG with a super preamp in it. There was no inlay blocks in the tape. It was just the dots. It was very expensive. This was in like the mid 70s, late 70s. And I had paid, I bought it at Steve's for like $1,500 plus tax. That was very expensive for a bass.
Well, then it would have been.
And I remember, like, wow, when I brought this home, I brought it, I played it for the first time at the Maples. There was this club out west out here. And I remember the guys from April Wine were out there, and they fucking came up to me at the end of the show and they said, "What the fuck is that bass?" Because it looked like a shark. The thing
Yeah.
was light, sexy, small, rounded, curved. You'd never seen anything like this before. And I was like,
And the action was so low without any buzz.
no buzz. It was perfect fucking bass. So he bugged me for this for years. And when I finally broke, I think I was moving to Toronto with Creela. And let me tell you that it was the deal of the freaking century. But there were times where he came into my house and he said, "Oh, you see these? I had these like Venetian blinds that were made of brown velvet."
Wait a minute.
Right.
Don't go there now. Wait, you got it all wrong. I walked in making this deal for that base or whatever base.
No, that was another bass. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, "You know what? I keep on losing." So I said, "I need more stuff than just a straight trade." Because what the hell do you want? I had just moved from Laval to St. Leonard. I walked in the house, me and my wife, and they didn't have curtains. Mike had beautiful curtains. They were brown. They looked nice and dark when you put
velvet.
So I said,
pure velvet.
I said, velvet.
Well, yeah.
It was like some pimp shit.
I said, "Mike, how about the curtains?" He goes, "What about them?" "Throw it in." "You don't want fucking throw curtains." I said, "What do you mean? I have to go out buying curtains.
A filter queen
almost
vacuum cleaner.
the deal." So he says, "Wait a minute." He finally goes, "Take this fucking piece of shit here." Woo, breaks them down. So I look at him and I said, "What else have you got, Mike?" "What the fuck? Well, what do you want?" I said, "You know what? You got a watch?" "No, I don't have watches," he said. First he said no. Then I said, "Oh," because I knew he had a watch, right? So he says, "Well, I got a watch, but I can't give it to you. It was my birthday. My daughter,
my sister gave it
just
to me
got
on my birthday."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I said, "Oh, okay." So he showed me the watch, right? And I went, "Fuck it. Okay, give me the watch, a curtain, we'll make the deal." "No, that's my daughter, isn't it? This, I mean, my sister, you know what I mean?" And I'm going, "Well, Michael, we've got to make a deal somehow." What else have you got? You have any cash? Back then, nobody got cash.
Dude,
He
he's
just
not telling
gave it to
you
me.
that he walked out with a brand new Filter Queen vacuum cleaner, and I had a mini washing machine that would sit on your fucking counter, right? That I had just got also, and he fucking took that also, and the painting that was on my wall, by the way.
Oh,
Right.
fuck. Are you serious?
Yeah. Right. So as he's leaving the door, I'm just trying to push it shut. Okay, you're not fucking asking me for nothing because the very last thing you asked me for was the watch. Right. And it was like, oh, come on. My sister gave me that for my birthday. You know, I'll take it anyways. Okay.
Your sister will never see it again.
Yeah, well, I can
Mark,
see that.
maybe
Well, when
there's
she
a
sees
book.
this
The other
podcast,
day,
she's
I
gonna
asked
know
him.
I did that. And I'm
Mike, I
sorry.
asked him.
I'm very sorry about that. And the last deal that we winded up doing with the Spectre,
Yeah, what did you get from me, Mike?
it's brought us back.
How
Okay,
many
now this was
items?
really sick, guy. He comes over, he wants this Spectre at all costs, right? I can tell you right now, he gave me a stereo Alembic fucking guitar with a fucking big fucking power supply, XLR into the fucking Alembic. He gave me like 3 fucking basses, like custom fucking basses and shit. He gave me some other stuff. And I remember, I think you even gave me like some money, like maybe $100 or $200. And you basically made it such a crazy fucking deal that there was no way I could say no. And I said, okay, take the fucking bass and leave.
Yeah, take the fucking base. I don't want to see it again.
Right. And my whole life, I regretted that.
Yeah.
This bass got passed around to Harold, back to him, some other army guy. To all, everybody loved it. And we looked for it for years and we could never find it. And then I found Mark here. And, you know, I met Mark because of the internet. We were friends before he even opened up the shop. And we used to communicate with each other with like, brah, at the end of all our messages and whatnot. And then we hooked up and, you know, he had a shop. And then I winded up getting a beautiful Spectre from him. All at the same time where I realized that Mark knew Enzo and the circle got completed where we're having this conversation. I now have a Spectre back, and I'm complete.
How did you know that Mark knew me? What did you ask him?
I didn't ask him nothing. I saw that you had written something to him on one of his posts, and then I'm saying to myself, "Oh, what the fuck? It looks like these guys know each other." And then I was talking to Mark, and I say, "Hey, do you know this guy Enzo?" And then he told me,
when I met Enzo, it was completely by chance. Wasn't it? I had the Music Man bass, right?
Man, what a bass!
The Sterling, right?
Yeah,
that's what we made the deal. You had the F bass, right? And you came over to my house.
He got the better deal on this one.
Well, I don't know. Neither one of us have the basses now, so maybe we didn't get a deal at all. But that's where we met, and it was a few years ago, at least. I don't know how many, 5
more,
and we always just talk online ever since. And sometimes I see you, but not very often. We talk on the computer, you know. And then in comes
what are the chances?
I don't know. It's the bass world.
I mean, who would have known? I would have never known. I know Mike and I know Mark, but not as much as I know Mike.
Yeah.
I think it was you or Mike. You said, Mike is going to call you, a podcast or whatever. And I went, what the hell's going on? Oh, you know Mike? Oh, yeah, we, you know, this and that. And I went, oh, my Lord, he's from the other side of the planet and you're on the other side, you know?
And I was telling Enzo the other day when we were talking that if Enzo, you are like a combination of if Enzo and I wanted to open up a high-end shop with all the other things, you're that guy. Canada is, and the rest of the world, because of the power of the internet, is so lucky to have a passionate guy like you online and in this life that cares enough about, you know, the art of bass to provide such a phenomenal service. You see what I mean? Because I don't know, like the 3 of us are like the most knowledgeable, passionate bass maniacs that I know. Between the three of us, we can run the United Nations of bass. You know what I mean? I mean, you
We
know,
could try.
and you could be the head of it, dude. You got the shop, you got the thing. You know, you're totally happening. So, how's it going with Bass North these days? Give us a bit of fruit
Ask
on
me,
that.
don't ask him. Ask me. He's selling every day. Every day he posts a base. 2 days later, another one gone.
You guys see that stuff happening. I get to meet all of these people. We're talking, we talk this, we talk that, we talk about bass, blah, blah, blah. I get to do that every day. I just came from an appointment this afternoon. I got to meet a nice young guy, 29 years old, nice young wife, 28 years old. His wife came with him. Man, the guy played every bass in that I had. Every single one he played. 2.5, 3 hours. And I said, man, I got to go. I got to get back to these jokers, you know? And it's going good. It's not about money, though, Enzo.
I know. You care about the people. You care. If a guy comes in and he's playing something or something is fucked up, something is wrong on a bass, you'll try and solve that problem or help him out by getting his problem fixed. If not, give him the bass, which you've done.
Yeah. Just like you would do, or Michelle would do too, right?
Yeah.
That's very, very important, you know. And I agree with what Mark is saying in the sense that money has importance in the sense that if you have no money at all, then you can't even have the gear. But the customer's happiness is priority so that if he's happy, then he walks out with a great piece of gear. He brings other people on board. And he comes back again because he's been part of something that is just so freaking rare. This goes beyond, because it's one thing to be addicted to gear, right? But then to have an enabler, not a salesman pusher, like a guy who's pushing drugs on you, but a guy who's giving you the opportunity to try stuff that you're never going to get to try.
Yeah.
And let you feel that, provide that opportunity. That's Mark. You know what I mean? It's like, where are you going to find something like that under one roof in private? It's like, on top of that, it's like you've got your own little base cottage where you go in there and you're hanging out with yourself. He probably fucking brings you a coffee and a fucking sandwich when you're fucking waiting too. You know what I mean?
That's the main point of anything, isn't it? When you have good friends, you take care of each other. It just works better. It works better for everyone to do that, right? So
one of the other things that I think the three of us have in common, and I'm going to go to you, Mark, on this because we've discussed this before, because this is really important. The three of us, besides loving bases, collecting bases, and servicing the bass world, shall I say, we have all been in very long-term relationships, and they are key in our lives. And I know that the three of us have that in common. And I think it's part of what enables us to be able to keep on doing what we do at our ages and whatnot, right? So tell me a little bit about that, Mark. Sarah, let's talk about that.
Wow. Well, I'm always at I'm not going to say a loss for words, but how much can you be grateful? This much, right? Lucky, that's an understatement. Fortunate is definitely way out there. I don't know what I'd do without her. Honestly, I really honestly don't know. When you get a union like that, you know it's cool and everything, but you don't know how special it is until the time goes by, and it gets more special, and the time goes on further and it's even more special. It's like it's never ending and you don't want it to end, yet it's something you don't even have to think about. It's just a daily comfort. And oh my gosh, as far as I'm concerned, Sarah's amazing. She's doing everything, like everything. I think I'm busy doing, all of this and some other stuff too. But Sarah's doing everything. It's crazy, and still has the time for me. I love her to death. I would not be sitting here or anywhere for that matter without Sarah. There's no chance.
That's amazing. So how long have you guys been together now?
In the grand scope of things, it hasn't been that long, but 16 years is a long time. You have to remember, I went like most of my life without that. Single guy, going nuts, partying way too much, doing all kinds of stuff I shouldn't have been doing, working like a dog, all of these things, right? All of a sudden it's just like whammo. One day Sarah walks in and everything turned upside down, and it's just been straight uphill climb ever since. I could rave about it for hours.
It's always a beautiful thing when I hear another man talk about his wife or his partner that way, because it's so rare. A lot of times people, they just kind of put them in the back seat and let's forget about it. Oh, it's the wife calling. We've never been like that. I feel the same way. I'm going on to 40 years with Krila, and I think that I would be a less than sub fucking zero without her. I tell her and I tell myself, and I know that Enzo, him too. He's been with his wife. It's Monica, her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He's been with Monica for even longer than I have with Krila, I think. How long? You guys been together like 50 fucking years? Or like what are we dealing with here?
50th year anniversary, June, coming up.
Wow.
In 6 months, 50 years. And I've known her 3 or 4 years before that.
Wow. Wow.
Tell us a little bit about tell us a little bit about your passion for her, my friend.
Oh man, everything, if you think about it, especially knowing with the sickness I got back then to now, since 1986, I've worked, opened up the music shop, then no more music shop. Can't do it. Double vision, sick, multiple sclerosis. So if I'm going 86, 96, 2006, 2016, it's almost 37 years I had this disease, and I still deal with it. But when that happened, we're talking about the kids now. They were 5 and 8. And I'm going, shit, how am I going to live? She didn't work. She took care of the family, right? What if a sudden she's got to work? She's got to look for a job because I can't do it. She actually went to CFCF in Montreal and said, I'm looking for a job. And they said, you know what? We don't need anybody. She said, if you want to send a resume or something, we'll look around it. And if something comes up, she goes, you don't seem to understand me. I want to work for free. For free? She said, yes, for free. They couldn't believe it. Dick Urban found out and he took her in, and I don't know which division he put her in. And after around a month and a half, they said, you know what, I got a job opening for you. So she got the job there. So she worked there for so many years. Then we come to London. I'm going like, why can't I get a home here? Well, the guy looks at you and he goes, are you working? No. Are you working? No. I'm sorry. You're missing 30,000. And I'm going, fuck. So she's got to hurry and get a job. And the doctor told me you can't do it 6 days a week anymore. Because I suffered with it, the store, with the double vision and the numbness and the dizziness, whatever, right? Then she works at Bell. She's been working there we're retired now, but she worked there so many years. That's the way it happened. So how much do I love her? Man.
Wow. You see, major commitment.
Yeah.
Again,
yes.
and I have to tell you, honestly, out of all the people that I have met, the people that I truly get along with the best for the longest period of time is people who care about their partners as much as you guys do and appreciate that, right? That it's something, there's a kind of loyalty factor that spreads onto the loyalty that you put onto your friends, the customers, the people you encounter, strangers or not. And I have to say, it's part of the upbringing and part of the whole entire thing. And I truly, truly respect you guys for that, beyond the fact that we met through bass, because when you meet through bass and music and stuff, you don't know this stuff. This stuff comes afterward. Yeah. But you quickly realize that when that is underneath the foundation of the friendship, how actually important that is to why these men are so happy and have got this kind of loyalty factor where they are treating their customers, their instruments, and their stuff like a mother treats a child.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? People might look at the three of us and say, "Oh, these are like guys." You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
not in touch with I don't want to say their feminine side, but like there's something to be said about that kind of respect. And man, it's so cool when that exists because it almost doesn't exist anymore. People are afraid of love. They're afraid of commitment.
Yeah.
They're afraid of that, and that carries on to everything in their lives, their work, their decisions, their confidence.
And you can't do anything about it, Michael or Mark. You can. Something happens to you. You want to leave. You want to separate.
Yeah.
I'm going to go looking around for somebody else. Would I last another 50 years?
No, we'll fucking die, dude. Dude, what do you got to say, Mark? Give us some advice on that shit. What can people do to have this kind of happiness?
Well, I mean, Enzo just kind of alluded to it, right? Like, what are you supposed to do? You're gonna start again, or like it's it's I don't know. I mean, I have friends that I've known for years. Some of these guys are very nice guys, great guys. They're not happy, like not truly happy, right? They'll tell you they are, but you can tell they're not. And it's that's why it's such a blessing to be in the position, right? Or to be, in that relationship like we are with our own, because there's a comfort that comes with knowing that, you get to be yourself and it's totally okay. And, vice versa, right? And I think the expectation nowadays for people, not just guys, because women do it too, but I think the expectation is, you got to do this, you got to have a job, I got to do this, I got to have a job. I want to do my thing over here, and you do your thing over there. And I mean, for crying out loud, I talk to guys that don't even want to go home at night. I don't know what that is all about. I can't even imagine. My favorite place in the world is home.
Right.
I think it should be
right.
for everybody. And so I can't even imagine thinking that way. But, Enzo said it. Like, I mean, when you know how good it is now, like, I mean, how could you possibly try and start over is the wrong thing to say, but you know what I'm trying to say.
How many people have lived that long married, like me,
Yeah.
you, Mark, or,
Long time.
Mike? I mean, people usually don't stay together that long anymore.
No.
It's like, what are you going to do if your car runs out of gas, do you go put more gas in it, or do you just throw the car out? If you get a flat tire, do you just throw the car out, or do you replace the fucking tire? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Everybody hits a peak. And I think that if people remember their initial spark, right? And that works for everything. The relationship, your instrument playing, your collecting, your passion, your job, what you eat, how you eat, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Growth, personal expansion, being aware of what works, what doesn't work. I think when we get older, one of the most important things is remembering that it's not what we want, it's what we don't want anymore. That's the magic thing. Kids want everything. I want this, I want this, I want this. And then when you get to be a young adult, you say, if only I had this and I only had that, then I'd be able to do this and that. And then when you get older, you know all this shit, and it's like, no, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't need this because I know what this brings me, because it takes me away from this, right? And hence experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it becomes convenience for other people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you ever talk to, growing up, and, I say growing up, 20s to 30s for sure. You ever talk to more mature men, and I say men in the sense that, to me, a man has that relationship. A man has, those experiences and has knowledge. And if you talk to an older man, I'm going back a few years, and then, talk to somebody that you gain respect for, and you actually listen to them, they're saying what you're saying, right? You know,
Yeah.
do you need everything? No. Do you want everything? Sure. Everybody, I think everybody wants to have more, wants to, have stuff, wants to go places, wants to do things. I think everybody has that. But you have to understand that that's not making you happy. Those are things that you do to maybe have fun, get experiences. But I think it's in the core is where you remain happy. And you said it, right? It's when you know that you know that you know who you are, and it's okay, then, that's good. That's the good part, right?
You got to build a family as a company.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got so many people. You got the kids, 10 kids, 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, whatever.
Yeah.
The wife, the guy, they're both the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You both work as a team.
Yeah.
Things get done. It's like, because after the addiction, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let me just call it the addiction part. You know what I mean? Because it's like anything. If you collect too many instruments, right, and you just have a shitload of instruments to the point where you can't even remember which ones are your favorites anymore, a lot of them you will never fucking play. And then what you have to do is you have to say, you know what? I better pull out a couple of these and just keep playing them for a while so I can get in touch with who and what the fuck these things are and what they're capable of. Because then it's like collecting pedals. If you have too many pedals, here's what happens. You keep testing them out. Which is the best fuzz? Which is the best overdrive? Which is my best delay? You got 50 of each, and you do no music. You write nothing. You keep going, and nothing happens, right? Same thing with everything. Same thing with even couples and sex, right? If all you do is have sex 24 hours a day, I like to tell people, even a porn star, okay, has to do other things. You could do what you want. You could think that that's what really matters in life. But what happens after that? Does that mean you become unhappy and there's nothing anymore? Absolutely not.
Right.
Just having your finger on your partner like this when you sleep next to them could be equivalent to having sex. It just all depends how you look at things and how you understand the values. But I really think it's about just getting shit done. Like getting shit done. I'd like to say there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. So in the middle this is where you hesitate. Yes, no, maybe. So the maybe is a huge problem.
Yeah.
It can also be an advantage in a life and death situation where you really have to ask yourself, should I or shouldn't I? And you have to assess what's going on. But a lot of people live too much in the maybe and nothing gets done, whereas yes or no is a guaranteed to make something happen. You're either not doing it, so you don't get and fucking something won't happen to you because you did it, or you are doing it, and because you did it, something else happens. Action plus reaction is a guaranteed result every fucking time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that applies for everything. It's like writing music, right? Like I've never taken a fucking lesson, right? But I can write a whole album at the end of every fucking day with 5 instruments. I'm no better than anybody else. There's technical people out there that blow me away. What does that mean? It's about architecture, right? And beginning, middle, end. Intro, verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, double chorus out, formula. Get it done. Expand, figure out your own style.
Yeah.
Don't do stuff that isn't close to your heart, because then you're going to work a lot harder at something that you won't wind up using in the end as opposed to doing something that you naturally feel that you're interested in, not something that you wish you could do that you're actually never going to do exactly that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's an interesting concept, but I think that as we get older, I mean, hell, the three of us together, fuck, we're like fucking 200 and fucking 70 years old or something like that. This
Looks
a
like we're
fucking
older.
Come on.
a lot of
Come
fucking
on.
experience in here. We're almost older than Canada.
Don't you worry, Enzo.
Oh, shit.
I'm catching up fast, buddy. I'm catching up
Hey,
fast.
dude, Enzo is like fucking. When he told me that he was like 70 years old,
Yeah.
Who told you that?
I freaked out. I cannot believe.
No, I'm going to
like,
be 70.
he fucking looks fucking good.
But that's, yeah, okay, you're getting older, but I mean, it's a number, isn't it? And you're,
Yeah, it is.
My friend Dr. Manhold lived to 104 years old, right?
Yeah, you told me.
And he was a genius and a full-blown energy man to the very last second, right? There's nothing we can do. Thinking of the end means nothing because the end happens when it happens. But until then, it's because we think like artists, we are always creating new life. We are creating new direction. We believe in love, and love means growth. You see what I mean? And that is what it's all about. So, in closing, Mark, what's in store for what's going on this year with Base North and yourself? Give us a quick wrap up on that.
I don't want to blurb because the business, but there's so much. There's so much, like a lot. Holy crap! You just keep an eye on stuff, and I mean everybody's going to see. What I hope for is I really hope overall that our country can get sorted out to a degree. I hope that people can be nicer to each other. I'm seeing a lot of things that is not nice. I hope people can do that because that's what Canadians are really all about, and we always have been. So hopefully that happens. I'm on a mission to just try and meet as many people as I can on a personal level, just like you're doing. I am going to say this, if I may. We're doing a really cool thing with the website. It wasn't my idea. It was Mark Marshall's idea. He's an incredible person. He takes care of a lot of the web things that I don't know how to do. And he said to me, Mark, you got to have an artist page. And I thought, okay, well, I'm familiar with the phrase, but I'm not a manufacturer. But then, I sat and I thought about it. And the more I thought about it, the more it made sense to me, because I could take it and twist it just a little. I would like to have an artist page. My artist page is not that you need to be an artist in the fashion that, you're recording and releasing music, you're performing on stages all over the world, you're, doing all these types of things necessarily. An artist to me is anyone that decides that I like this instrument, I think I'm going to try and learn it, and I'm going to play it. That's an artist to me. It doesn't matter if you have one 3-string bass because you can't afford to buy a new set of 4 strings, perhaps, and you sit and you play those 3 strings. Why? Because you love it and you enjoy it. Then you're an artist, and you need to go onto my artist page. I want to try and create a community where everybody feels comfortable that I'm Joe and I play bass in my basement. I'm Fred, and we're going on a cross Canada tour this year. I want everyone to mix. And I think it's good. The bass community is really good to do that in because, it's like we're all friends automatically. I don't know why that is. It just seems to be the case, right? And I love it. That's what I love about it.
BaseNorth.ca, you guys can reach out and to Mark Smith over there and send your pictures and links, as he wants to support the good vibe on bass players, because bass players have always been not only the foundation of the band, but they're the guys who keeps the bullshit out of the mix at all times. They fix the problems with the drummers, with the guitar players, and the singers. Nothing personal, guys, but that's just the way it is. Enzo, what about you? What's happening with you this year? What's the big plans for the fantastic Enzo, Lord of the fucking Let's Make a Deal and Knowledge of Bass?
Well, I'm still waiting. Let's do it, Mike.
Yeah, that'll be funny. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna drive out there soon. You guys live next to each other, and we'll get together for dinner and have make a big laugh. You know?
Maybe we'll make a deal.
Yeah, maybe we'll make a deal.
Right, let's make a deal. Yeah.
And I have to tell you,
three-way deal.
Three-way deal. I really want to thank you guys for being in my life, man. Being my friend. For everything that I've experienced with you in these beautiful conversations that we've had in the past, in the present, the ones we will have in the future, everything I've learned and exchanged with you guys, I am truly a better, happier person that you guys are in my fucking life. Like, for real, man. I can't thank you enough.
You're too kind, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah. Thank you for letting us get in this session here where we can actually get together and just talk without a beer.
Yeah.
Till we meet.
And you guys have officially launched the very first podcast. Welcome to my digital life. And it is so cool. The power of digitalism, the way that we are able to do this despite the distance. Yeah. Meeting people that you've never met in real life, being able to appreciate, learn, gain life experience from. Fuck, it's beautiful. I've never been afraid of this. Yeah. I've always thought it was a gift. It all depends how you use it, right? There's good and bad and everything.
That's right. Yeah.
It's funny. I always thought, Mike Laredo, where the hell am I ever going to meet this guy again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of a sudden, Mark comes along. Well, I've seen Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's Mike, there's Mark, there's Jimmy, there's Paul, there's that. I don't think right now they're doing what we're doing.
This is amazing, and Mark has been like the pinnacle.
The way we met, the way you guys got together and met, and the way I found out, what the hell is Mark doing with Mike? How the hell did they get together?
And the Spectre, dude, and the closing of the Spectre circle.
I just want to say that I'm really looking forward to more of this that you do with other people. I think it's so cool, man, that you're doing this. I see the things that you do, Michelle. I see who you talk to. I see what you say to them. And I got to say, rare breed for sure. There needs to be more of this. Just what I said. There has to be more. People have to get along. People have to communicate in whatever way is possible. I look so forward to you doing more of these. It's going to be really, really cool to sit back and take it all in. Thanks for doing it. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to feel the same way.
You guys, the very first episode of Welcome to My Digital Life with my beautiful friend.
Great.
Enzo.
Fantastic.
And Mark. And what can I tell you, man? Till the next one, and rock and fucking roll. Oh, yeah.